Welcome to Ahead of the Times, where we won't break the internet, but we are broke and on the internet.
Probe reaches comet after 10 years, and you thought interstellar was long.
G20 meets in Australia, but are they feeling as fly as a G6?
Obama to offer protection to illegal immigrants, because nobody should have to produce their birth certificate. For the latest on immigration, we go to our senior diversity hire, Toby.
Republicans called Obama an imperialist for planning to use executive action to reform immigration, as though he's in charge of the whole country. The executive action is said to allow 5 million undocumented immigrants to avoid deportation, until the second a Republican takes the White House. Republicans compared to move to waving a red flag in front of a bull, which is fair because on immigration, Republicans do produce a lot of bullshit. It's problematic for a Republican Party whose members are torn between capturing the hearts of Hispanic voters and capturing Hispanics. I predict Obama will make a move, since putting Republicans who don't want to help him anyway in a tough spot is a no-brainer. You might say he's picking the low-hanging fruit by helping those who pick all of the fruit. For the latest on the ESA's efforts to drill into a comet, we go to our senior I Have Watched Armageddon 17 Times correspondent, Hola, I Love Armageddon, Gbaja-Biamila Affleck Willis.
I have never seen Armageddon. The European Space Agency's probe, Philae, landed on the comet 67P Churyumov-Gerasimenko in what is a historic meeting of the three least pronounceable names in the universe. Gbaja-Biamila is fourth. To put it in perspective, the probe left on its 10-year journey from Earth in 2004, the year Facebook launched. Britney Spears got married twice. Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunctioned. In fact, the probe's first message on re-establishing contact was to ask how Friends ended. Project leader Matt Taylor appeared on TV and was derided for making the announcement in a silly shirt made by a female friend with scantily clad women on it, which furious feminists described as 3 steps back for humankind. ESA scientists immediately began researching what planet they were on. This was the first photo released of the comet up close, which was surprising to the probe considering it looked like this on Tinder. After a rough landing, the probe quickly began searching for organic compounds by seeking out the nearest Whole Foods. Despite its admirable performance, the solar panels weren't getting enough light to power its transmitter and the batteries died. It goes to show the limits of technology. You can go 300 million miles and still be stuck when you can't charge your phone. Scientists say the probe may start working again once the comet gets closer to the sun. Though my prediction is, since it's a European probe, it will only work for 35 hours a week with 8 weeks annual vacation. For the latest on the G20 summit, we go to our senior correspondent who knows what that is, Toby.
World leaders gathered in Brisbane, Australia to discuss economic growth and how long that flight was. Conference attendees vowed to take on Ebola by meeting someplace as far from it as possible. Vladimir Putin was pressured to end his foreign interventions and was rumored to leave the summit early because of it. However, he pledged to stay longer next year as long as it was held in Ukraine. Economic growth was the top priority, with the G20 targeting 2% growth over 4 years for its countries, while people in non-G20 countries will be left with nothing but a 4-year-old bottle of 2% milk that definitely has some sort of growth in it. Tax evasion was also high on the agenda, with delegates compromising to crack down on tax evaders as long as that didn't include the ones in attendance. Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott urged delegates to speak from the heart, not from their scripts, because in the age of Twitter, speaking from the heart in front of thousands of cameras has never backfired. Abbott also tried to keep climate change off the agenda, prompting hundreds of protesters to bury their heads in the sand, even chanting, "What do we want?" Climate change was still put on the agenda by the EU and the US, despite the objections of the host country. That's like going into someone else's house and turning down their thermostat. Well, they insist man has no control over room temperature. Central heating, just the result of natural causes. In the meantime, leaders' spouses stood for photo ops holding koalas, which they took to naturally since they were used to handling creatures who looked photogenic, but were secretly aggressive bastards. My prediction? The vague promises of the G20 will be partially fulfilled and taken up next year at the G6, G8, G12, G19, and G everyone except North Korea summits.
Thank you for watching Ahead of the Times, predicting the news since 2015.
I have cake.
Oh wow, what's that for?
For a 10th episode. Most web series don't last that long. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it looks delicious. Oh, that's cute. Is that a candle for every episode?
It's actually one for every subscriber. Hi, Mom.
Well, how generous of you.
Yeah, I am actually going to need a few quid for cake. Now the web series.
Oh, of course. Hold on. I only have a few coins.
Oh, what the hell?
Exchange rate, man. The pound's doing well. Here, have another 50p.
Turn down the times!
Thanks, subscribers. And to our new viewers, please subscribe, share, and tune in next week to stay truly ahead of the times.